Given that it was back to school season, it was a good reading month. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jade and welcome to August wrap up. So I'm new at this, and as usual, I'm trying to make sense of how to do this and how to go about it, and try to provide meaningful content that maybe inspires some people to read. I will keep this wrap up spoilery free, and if you want to know more, I'll probably be having in-depth talks of my favorites. Also, confession, all I wanted to do today was actually just rot in bed. I'm starting to feel the back to school blues and exhaustion. I just wanted to catch up on sleep, but I promised myself that I will be consistent, so here I am. I'm sorry if I sound a little bit out of it, but I'm trying my best to hype myself up and be as excited as I usually am. Let me start with my wrap up. So I read 2 books and 2 novellas and started the 3rd book, and I'm happy with this progress. So first off, we have Jade Legacy. This is the conclusion of the Green Bone Saga. This is a story that talks about the main conflict between the No Peak clan and the Mountain clan, which is a conflict between 2 rival families. There's themes of loyalty, sacrifice, leadership, and how do all these different ideas and familial bonds intertwine. Big focus on family and the impact of family and the importance of family in these stories. It was such an emotional read for me. I gave these books 5 stars and I can't wait to reread it again. It's the kind of story that is still with me and I am still remembering parts of it. It was such a brilliant read. I loved every moment I spent reading Jade Legacy, and in my opinion, it was the perfect conclusion for the Green Bone Saga. The best characters you will meet in this book, and some of the most emotional punches are going to be experienced in these books. I did not think that I would enjoy a story that talks about smugglers and clans and crime and all of these things. However, this was a perfect read for me, and it's making me more eager to branch out to more different genres. Yes, it is based on fantasy, but it did have a different feel, and this is one of the things that I liked most about it, is how unique the story is. I know it feels like I do nothing but talk about the Green Bone Saga on this channel, but it's just that I started while I was reading it, and it was the story that was taking over my life, so apologies if I talk too much about them, but they are honestly wonderful and amazing and so worth the hype. The next book I read this month was The Viscount Who Loved Me. This is a bound edition of the first 2. However, I read book 2 and I love the story. Out of the Bridgerton stories, the story of Kate and Anthony is one of my all-time favorites. So this is the 2nd story in Julia Quinn's Bridgerton. Focuses on Anthony, the eldest of the Bridgerton family. Throughout the book, Anthony is very adamant on wanting to find a wife, and he's looking for all these criteria and checklists. And he's being very meticulous about it, and he's being very calculated about it. And his rule is he does not want to fall in love. He just wants to marry someone who's smart, who's funny, who's pleasing to the eyes. However, during his journey to find this wife, he comes across Kate Sheffield, which is someone who is vexing him. And I love the use of this term. So she vexes him, she challenges him, she's always standing up to him. And this is when the chemistry and the tension sparks. It's such a heartwarming story. I loved every minute of it. I really enjoy it, and I love Kate as a main character because she was not meek. She did not back down from Anthony. She was a wonderful heroine, and given all the women within the Bridgerton world, I love Mama Bridgerton and I love Kate next.
Something very important I forgot to mention is that Anthony was an ass throughout this book. However, we still liked him and we still enjoyed the story. Kate deserved better. Nevertheless, I still love their story and chemistry.
So this is a must read, and it's my all-time favorite. Out of the 7 Bridgertons that I've read, I still have the last one to catch up on. This was the 3rd, maybe 4th reread of this book. I listened to the audiobook and I've read it physically several times, and every time I enjoy it just as much. So this book gives 5 stars and all the stars. I told you it was a good reading month, so I'm excited. And just because I was unable to get over my book hangover from Jade Legacy, I started listening to the Jade Setter of Janloon. So this is a novella set in the same universe of Jade City, or the Green Bone Saga. It is a prequel, and not necessarily a prequel, you don't have to read it. However, it is set before the events of Jade City. So this is more of a fun take on the jade trade and life in the city of Janloon. It does not follow our main characters. However, it follows the story of a jade setter who gets to experience some kind of a crime within his shop. He is someone who does not have an affiliation with No Peak nor the Mountain. However, because of this crime, we try to seek the help of No Peak and Mountain, and you get cameos of different characters such as Ait Madashi, Gontash, I always get his name wrong, Hilo, as well as my favorite clan, and it was I love when Lan comes up. I just enjoy it, spending any page time with him. I gave this book 4 stars. It's definitely worth the read. It is just fun and entertainment, and it kept me reading. It's so short, however, it was really enjoyable and helped me get over my book hangover. A little bit, not that much. And next, we have also Jade Shards. I was unable to get enough. Also set in the universe of the Green Bone Saga. In this novella, we follow 4 short stories following some of our main characters back when they were in their teenage years. We have one story following Ait Madashi when she was just joining the school. We also have a story for Lan when he was just... No, he wasn't a pillar yet. I'm trying to remember. He wasn't a pillar yet. And there's some mentions of Anden. We also follow the story of Hilo and how he came together with Wen. And we follow the struggle of Shay and how she started being more attracted to Hispania. And I think eventually, like, the continuation of that story would be why she decided to take off her jade and actually just pursue a life in Hispania. The 4 stories were highly engaging, highly interesting. It was also nice to meet these people one more time. My favorite was the story of Lan. I don't remember the titles, honestly. Lan was amazing. I fell more in love with Lan, as usual, you know, I'm biased. And the second, I really enjoyed the story of Ait Madashi as a teenager. I did not enjoy the audio as much. However, I wish I would have read a physical copy. However, it is still nice to help you get over this book hangover that I don't know when it will end, hopefully by the end of this month. Again, highly entertaining, and I highly recommend that you read it. I gave this book 4.5 stars. And finally, the book that I wanted to get to but couldn't in August, I read approximately 100 pages, is Your Bone, My Blood. And this is a YA, titled as a YA horror novel. Throughout what I'm reading right now, I don't feel the horror element. However, it is very atmospheric and gloomy. Not sure how I feel about it so far. It is interesting. I'm intrigued. I want to keep on reading. However, the characters so far are falling flat, and there are so many unexplained things. Like, by 100 pages, I want to know a little bit more, and I don't think that I have enough. But I am intrigued and I want to know more. So I'll keep you posted, and I'll let you know more once I finish reading this. Hopefully, if I get this done and I finish reading it before editing this video, I'll add a clip here. That was my August wrap-up. I highly recommend that you read these books. It was a good reading month, and I was so lucky to come across so many great reads. Stay tuned for my September TBR, which I will be posting soon. Enjoy your weekend. If you're going back to school, stay strong. We've got this. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.